fast.
You can look it up. All right. We're on the TV.
Oh, hello.
Switch this.
Hello.
I can't see.
Are we unmute? Unmute?
Yeah.
Unmute.
They can hear. It's gonna be a long one.
Oh, welcome to Books You Never Read. I won. Except for those we have. I'm Nicole. Say it. We'll just keep going.
I'm Jason.
And today we're talking about chapters 1 through 9. Is that true?
Yep.
Of Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. If you haven't read up to chapter 9, you should definitely stop and go read. It'll take you 2 seconds. It's super short. And then come on back and catch us on the replay. If you are joining us live, chat us up in the chat box. And if you're catching us in the replay, chat us up in the discussion box. We have tons of other books playlisted for you in the playlist section of our channel. So if this is not your thing, that's okay. There's several other books to choose from. We suggest staying away from
Hurricane season.
And Flanders panel. So anyways,
Fair enough.
Those are our two not good books that we've read so far. Hopefully this one will not join the ranks of those two not good books.
It will not.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
So anyways, we're on Instagram kind of for the memes. So if you have good memes, send them to us on Instagram at Books We Never Read. And we're on Fable, which I really am enjoying. Uh-oh. Don't even move the plant.
It's bothering me.
Ow. We're on Fable. And so we're able to chat about like the chapters and stuff before we meet to go live and all that. All right. Oh, and Peggy doesn't like Neuromancer and Rosewater.
I'll say this.
I forgot
am
about Neuromancer.
very excited about the Neuromancer show.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. I think they'll do a good job.
Hey, did anyone watch Station 11 before we get started?
We have not watched it. I want to.
I completely forgot about it. Not the book, the show. I still love the book.
Yeah.
Anyway, ready?
Yeah.
Any other?
I would also watch a Rosewater show. I'm just throwing that out there.
Rosewater was interesting.
It was interesting. I was telling somebody about it the other day, and if it's gonna be like one of the lower ranked books, I think I'm okay with that. But just African sci-fi was a lot of fun. Seeing like all sci-fi kind of has this like colonial vibe, but seeing it from the African point of view, I thought was really cool. Sort of like this post-colonial situation. Anyway, it was good.
There were just lots of, like, I didn't really love the ride while we read it. But there were some parts that were so descriptive and so engaging and so interesting that they've stayed in my mind very vividly. And that means something in terms of quality reading. Yeah. You know?
Well, like that part with, like, the monster floating above them or whatever.
Don't
okay.
talk to you about that.
All right, anyway,
That
let's
really
talk about our
disturbed me.
current book, Mexican Gothic. I'll be honest, I didn't really start reading until yesterday.
I read it all right after the show last Sunday.
So we each read it in a day, 1 week apart. This book's fire.
I love it.
I'm having a great time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it started super strong, I think. And it reminds me of several things. Number one, there's this cute little series of Victorian San Francisco mysteries. It's like a cozy Victorian San Francisco mystery. It's by like Louisa something. Anyways, they're super cute books. And this kind of reminded me of the main character in those books. Just this very precocious, very intelligent young woman in a time where being an intelligent woman isn't enough on its own. But also, you know, quite beautiful, knows how to play the game, you know, all that. It also reminded me a lot of, like, Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre and some in the way that things are described, in the way that the story is told. Like, it's kind of built up like a frame story like those are. For some reason, all those books back in the day couldn't just tell you a story. You had to be like wandering lost in the woods and then come across a home, and then they took you in to warm you up and then told you a story. You had nothing to do with anything. You just heard this story. Like, all books back in the day were like that. And this is kind of like that.
Yeah.
She was at a party and she was living her life. But now the real story starts because she went to her cousin's house.
Right.
So anyways.
I think we've probably talked about that several times now with different books.
We have
like
had
the
another frame story, and I don't remember what it was. Do you remember?
Now, just judging from some of like the references that they make, this seems to be taking place like maybe in the 40s.
It's in the 50s.
50s.
This is 1950. Okay. She has a convertible.
Yeah, she does.
In her hometown. This is not the 1800s.
Right. But so that's what's kind of fun about it. And I guess that's my point, is like it's this Victorian feel, right? I agree about like, it definitely has like a Wuthering Heights feel. But we have like, well, we don't have lights, but like we have the option for lights, I guess. You know?
Right. There are switches.
Yeah.
Much like Station 11, they don't do anything.
Yes.
So we'll get straight into it. With all that kerosene lampage, you know what my guess is. Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Nicole's guess is always carbon monoxide poisoning.
People acting crazy? It's probably carbon
monoxide.
Slow killer. That's my guess.
Yeah. Is that like your real guess?
Poisoning for sure. but it could be carbon monoxide. Gotcha. I never have real guesses. Yeah. I say too many things.
Well, so this is another thing, right? I mean, I mentioned colonization when we were talking about like neuromancer or whatever, but like one of my things that I like about this book is sort of like the colonial tones and sort of like the reckoning with that. All of our main characters that are not what's her name? Naomi? Noemi? Gotcha. I had to read it and I knew it probably wasn't Naomi. The letters were backwards. But so Noemi goes, and like this whole family's British, and like colonization is kind of their thing. But like, you know, they're all these like British dudes just like living around on this mountain or whatever. But you talk about like the Mexican workers who live further up the mountain and like the mass grave those people got thrown into, and how they are generous enough to like sponsor the church in town and like all this stuff. And you know, like Mexico is such, and most of South America has such like a complex colonial history. Not that the United States doesn't, but it's complex in a different way. And because there was sort of this like integration, kind of, right, that we didn't quite have. And so I'm really enjoying, like, it's fun that our main character is an anthropologist, because there's sort of an anthropology happening here in the background of this mystery.
Shelby says this book reminds her of 7.5 Deaths.
It does.
And she mentioned that in Fable, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Any mystery where there's, like, a dark house with lamps and servants is going to remind me of 7.5 Deaths.
Yeah. Yeah, in this, the conversation went to genes and eugenics real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, first off, if you go to somebody's house and their first conversation is about eugenics, you are in the wrong place. You should leave now. But this also just seems to be the hobby of old men everywhere to talk about how, and as somebody who is destined to head that direction, it is something that you have to be on guard against, because it just seems to happen to people. Yeah. It is weird.
That's terrible.
It is terrible.
I loved it when she was like walking through the library and she picked up this journal about like racism and stuff, and she threw it in the trash. You were at someone else's house and threw their crap in the trash. I love it.
Well, and like, I enjoyed when Noemi takes sort of this like racial superiority and flips it on its head, right? Well, what about the locals? Shouldn't they be superior because they have adapted to this environment and like you have not, or whatever? And like, you know, if British society is soft, then wouldn't that make the locals stronger? Like, whatever. Anyway, I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't know. So, what do we think is going on with Catalina?
So, I will point this out. So, what are Catalina's symptoms? Supposedly tuberculosis. And that's fine. She's in the like treatment phase of tuberculosis, and so like maybe it's not that bad. I occasionally run into people who have tuberculosis in the treatment phase, and like they seem fine, but she's clearly an insane person, right? Like she has something going on mentally, and she's like swapping, right? Like she'll have these moments of not herself, and then she is herself. The only real symptom we know that is like different per se is this like major fever that she had at some point. And I will point out that we are told that the Mexican workers who had lived up the mountain have had multiple incidences,
like cycles
of fever and then death.
There's something.
So I'm throwing that out there.
And there's mold all up in this house. And there's fungus everywhere. I mean, like, this talk of fungus and mold and
Yes.
and all that.
Yes.
And we know that can cause that.
Absolutely. But so that's kind of where Peggy is going. Peggy's saying that she thinks it's going to be mushroom poisoning, some kind of hallucination based on the bad mushroom soup. So, number one, if it is mushroom poisoning, why do the Mexican workers up the mountain have the same, like, fever symptom?
And why did it only affect them and not weirdo Howard, Francis, and whatever? And it might have affected someone, because I forgot about this. There was that story of the daughter that killed everybody.
Okay, so that's the next part I want to bring up. I feel like that just kind of like feels like a weird throwaway piece. Why do we think the daughter went off and killed everybody?
Because she was high as a kite, too.
Okay, so that's the theory, is that she's high. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So she's a mushroom.
Or she's like, these people suck.
Okay, so this is more along the lines of my theory. I think that daughter learned the truth of what's going on here and decided to kill off the family.
Dang.
That's what, like, on purpose.
Yeah.
That's what I think happens.
Good for her.
But the question then is, what is the truth? What is so horrible that is going on that would make her kill everybody? Is it just like the exploitation and like the mind shenanigans? Is it something deeper than that? Because I think it's something deeper than that.
Oh,
and I'm trying to like drag out my answer so you guys can think and follow along. Because I think I know what's happening here.
Okay, well, tell us what you think is happening.
No, let's keep going. Let's play the game.
Inbreeding. He
Nope.
married his...
Can we talk about
He
that for a
married his
second?
cousin and then his cousin's sister, and he's like,
Yes.
oh, because there was no one else suitable around here.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes, that was weird.
I'm sure there were plenty suitors other than you.
Mm-hmm.
You nasty old... you nasty old waxwork. She called him waxwork. Francis walked the waxwork back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I love the main character, Sass. No one knows Sass.
Yeah. Okay, so now Peggy's pitching a theory that was kind of my original theory. She says, what if they're trying to suck strong juice from the locals?
Are we vampires?
Well, I do think that's an option. I think the vampire thing is an option, specifically because of the figure in the cemetery. I'm not willing to.
Oh.
I'm not willing to discount vampires. You'll also notice that like they keep the windows drawn and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're vampires, but I want to hold that option open. The other option is all this talk of eugenics is not just like weird racist white dudes hanging out in Mexico. It is like an adrenochrome situation. So like adrenochrome is this theory that like you can basically like take the blood of babies and like keep yourself perpetually young, and people today think that that's what like the elite do as like a conspiracy theory thing.
Howard's so nasty.
So there could be that kind of thing going on, right? Like maybe they are somehow harvesting local people to juice themselves up to try to create something bigger. And I agree. So Peggy brings up the Ouroboros, and like maybe that is sort of this Ouroboros thing, like this eternal cycle, rebirth and youth or something.
Oh, the snake eating his tail.
Yeah.
Well, so what does Catalina have to do with that? They stealing her blood
So that's an option.
at night
It's an option.
while she's asleep. They're drugging her, making her paralyzed, stealing her blood. She's having all these wild dreams. She's waking up all iron deficient and out of whack. Gross.
So this is still not my theory. But,
What's your theory?
But it's close. Well, let's continue. Let's read some of our notes. I wrote a whole quote in there.
Yeah.
Read that for me.
Okay, so in chapter 8,
Yes.
Jason quoted, Virgil moved toward a long table that ran along the center length of the greenhouse, crammed with yellow potted plants, and to the back to a bed box that held a few pristine pink roses. He carefully brushed his knuckles against the petals. She took care to cut out the weak and useless shoots, to look after each flower. But when she died, nobody much cared for the plants. And this was all what's left of it all. This is what's left of it all.
All right. So this goes back to sort of like this eugenics thing, right? So here's this pot crammed full of yellow flowers. And so that would be the local people. That'd be like the lesser people. However you want to frame it, right? So like there's a metaphor here. And in the back is the pink flowers that are perfect and well groomed. And she took care to pull out the bad shoots or whatever, right? So like this is a comment about eugenics. It's after this comment that we notice the Ouroboros on the ground. But it's before we notice the Ouroboros on the ground, but after we notice the stained glass one. And so this above and below situation. Now, I don't think this is like a pulling out the eternal youthness of people, but I'm pointing that comment out as something that relates to this eugenics thing, because that's where I think this is going. Let me pull up some more comments.
The family tree is a wreath. That's a good one.
Yep.
And yeah. So I don't know. Your flower quote reminded me of the paintings of Howard's two wives. One with a bouquet and one with a couple of flowers.
Okay.
I don't know. That just reminded me of that.
Gotcha.
Description.
What's
and
their
so Doyle.
No, Taboada?
Oh yeah.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Taboada?
I could
Anyway, it's a cool last name. I like
yeah,
it.
Catalina Taboada. Something like that.
Yes. I'm trying to find I know I made some other notes.
You made some other notes.
All right, I'm just gonna tell y'all. Here's where this is going. All right, y'all ready?
Wait.
Okay, y'all keep playing.
What do you think the medicine woman is really giving Catalina? I don't think it's really something for tuberculosis.
I don't either.
Okay.
I think it's an antifungal.
I was gonna say, do you think something to help? Yeah, I think
so
too.
So here's my theory, and I think y'all are. Okay, so now Shelby's asking, is the family trying to purify the locals in some weird way? I'm not sure about purify, but I would say cleanse. And here's what's going on here. This is my big guess. I think so we have a lot of comments about eugenics. We have a lot of comments about like mixing of races to become something new or take the strong and whatever. We also have this like mushroom mold situation that keeps coming up. Your boy is like harvesting mushrooms in a cemetery. There's something out there. Some of the dreams that Noemi have sort of like, I'm gonna say like mycological aspects to it, sort of like, and even the letter that Catalina writes, right? She writes this thing in the letter about a spider web, but what if it's not a spider web?
Yeah, what if it's the mycelial?
Yes, it's the like mycelial network or whatever. So here's my theory, and there's this comment about how the Moaztecs or like there was whatever local people Noemi's grandmother comes from, they would use mushrooms to commune with their ancestors and things like that. So my thinking is, what happens when you bury somebody, like in this graveyard or whatever, and somehow their soul or their mind is absorbed into this mycelial network, and then through spores or through the mushrooms or something, or what if like the mushrooms are in some way conscious, because there's kind of this idea as well. You can speak to the mushrooms, right? Like that is one of the comments made specifically. So like the mushrooms are conscious and they are like infesting people, almost like a Last of Us sort of situation with like spore zombies. And maybe the family is very protective of this situation and they know they're infected. That's what's going on with the cousin. She is in the first stages of infection. That's what's going on with maybe the locals, is that they continue to like accidentally catch the infection or eat the mushrooms or whatever it is. They're getting access to the mushroom consciousness. And it is either a mushroom consciousness or it is like the ancestors. And the point being is that the Doyles are then wiping them out because like, no, that's for us because they're racists, right? So yeah, that's my theory. There's some sort of like mycological consciousness transfer infestation. Like they've got those like bugs or whatever that like get the spores on them, and like the spores basically like controls their brains. Like, what if that is what is happening here? I'll point out that the house is damp and dark. That is something that mold and mushrooms like.
I mean, every painting in that house is covered in mold. The fungus painting was covered in mold.
They are a mushroom people.
They are a mushroom people.
And so, and like I do think that they are like doing experiments on Noemi, right? Like whenever she like wakes up and thinks they're touching her in the middle of the night and all that stuff. Like, I think that's what's happening. But maybe they're like injecting her with the mushroom, or they're doing some sort of experiment there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That it is kind of a Rosewater feel, right? There was sort of this like
Yeah.
mycelial idea.
When you said that, all of them. There's spores, not the spores.
But yeah, so I think that, and like maybe, so like what does Noemi see in the graveyard? It's not Francis or whatever. Like I just don't buy that. But what if it's sort of like the mushroom soul, right? Like the hive mind or something, right? Like what if that's what like all these people are at some point, is they've become this, there's this whole like, we work together, we protect the family, we don't really leave, it's like very communal to some degree.
Oh yeah, I for sure think that they laced her wine.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that dream was terrible.
Yeah.
No good. And Francis is... Poor guy. I mean, he's just a little snail shell. He just...
Yeah. You call him a snail shell. One of my favorite quotes in there was when she compares the house to the shell of the snail that just like got left behind or something. That was cool. I think she'll end up with a local doctor. Like, on some level, I think there's going to be a romantic interest there. I'm cool with that. That's fine.
Interesting. I don't know that this book is long enough to develop out a romantic interest.
Well, I'm not saying it'll be like serious.
She just needs to grab Catalina, steal that car.
Yeah.
Drive her little self all the way back to how'd she get there, train?
Yeah. I'm on board with the fungus idea. I just don't want this to be just a spore story. I think that's kind of boring. Like, it's been done.
Well, it's a spore story with bad people.
Yeah, but like, whatever. I want something more. And like, I don't want the Ouroboros and all that to be like a red herring. I don't want this like eugenics conversation to be like a red herring. I think, and then like, oh my God, we were all poisoned by spores, because like, boy, we all saw that coming by chapter 4. That's why I think that the eugenics thing, it's something about making spore people or breeding people that can commune with the spore hive mind or something like that. And maybe they are experimenting on the Mexican dudes who were living up in the mountain for the mine or whatever. Maybe they're experimenting on them, or maybe they are culling them because they don't want them to have these supreme powers, because like, that's for British dudes or whatever.
I got so distracted by one of the comments.
4 spores and 7 years ago. That's pretty funny.
I didn't hear a single word you said because I saw that and just lost it. I'm sure it was a great analysis. I'll catch it on the replay. Oh, man. 4 spores, 7 years ago. I'm crying.
Shelby, I would like to ask you to make me another cross stitch, please.
We already have like 2 in the queue. We cannot keep asking you.
Fair enough.
Many of these things.
I'll make something with AI. We'll do that.
Oh.
I'll post it on YouTube.
That is so funny. Anyway, I want to go read right now, and I might not have time to read today, and that is killing me.
What do you have to do?
It's got things to do.
Oh.
Got things to do. So yeah, where the mines? Something's going on in there. We need to go check that out. Shelby, you do cross stitch fast, but I know that is it's a luxury good.
Yeah. We'll have to wait till we finish the book so that we can like see if there's a design or something we need to put on there, right? But like,
yeah. Ooh.
There's a first time for everything.
She loves the challenge.
Yeah. Anyway,
so Catalina's letter.
Yes.
In the margins.
Yes.
Had numbers Scribbled words and circles. Is that the mushroom talking? Is that the fungus talking?
It could
in
be.
the margins?
It could be. I don't know that we'll ever get that back. Like, I don't know that we'll ever, like, understand what that's supposed to be. And it might just be there to imply
Just
insanity.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Are we going to the mines?
I hope so.
Do you think there's some, like, direct tunnel from the house to the mines? That
Nah.
seems like a thing. No?
It does seem like a thing, but, like, nah. I just think this is some sort of, like, weird spore cult or something, right? Like, I have, like, very strong, like, Cthulhu vibes from this, but there's no eldritch anything. And so I'm going with the spores as this primeval consciousness.
The synopsis said that it was Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre meets... Who wrote?
Yeah.
Lovecraft.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there you go. Florence needs to sit down. No talking at dinner? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But so, like...
Fat chance getting me to shut my mouth.
So what's that... What's that about? And so, like, and I'm not saying that mushrooms like quiet, because, like, I don't know that, and I don't know that anybody knows that.
Well, what I think that's about, these old houses had intercom systems before electricity. They had these, like, vent paths in the walls so that you could talk from one room to the other without having to shout across the house. I think that that is in this house, and they speak quietly so that Howard or someone can't hear all their conversation. They're implying it's not to disturb because the walls are thin or whatever, but I think there's something you don't want hearing your conversation. She mentions in her letter that there's voices in the walls.
Right.
I think it's these vents. This was that was in like a Sherlock Holmes story back in the day.
Yeah.
The snake using the vents in the walls.
Well, what if they are communicating through the mycelial network?
Right. And that's just all up in the walls.
Could be. But yeah, I like this idea of, like, the vents or something for, and
but
like,
I think that makes more sense. What you said, that it's really the network through the walls, because we know that's already everywhere. It's covering everything in this house.
Yeah. Well, so, like, and, like, what if it's just the old man who is infested somehow, and maybe, like, Catalina is an experiment, and maybe everybody's afraid of the old man because he is something so much stronger, so much more powerful than what we are. Part of me wants to say that because of this whole, like, marrying the two sisters thing, like, that either they weren't really sisters, it was really the same person twice. I'm not sure that that's likely, but, like, what if, or like something, right? Like, I think that part is weird enough to not just be like, ooh. If you're trying to, like, just hammer home this whole, like, genetic thing, I think you did it already, but, like, okay.
But they both lived there at the same time.
According to that dude only.
Howard.
Anyway,
but
I don't know.
What if he really kind of brought her back to life, but it wasn't really, it was zombie spore version of her, and that's why so-and-so daughter, and I'm kind of confused about this wreath family tree, killed, it's Francis's dad, right?
Yes.
But Francis's dad left for a while and came back.
That sounds
there
right.
was something, I don't know, I missed. Peggy, get in there. You always straighten me out when I have all the facts wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, I just, like, it's possible that there's something going on there. Just because I think that it is a bit over the top just to hammer home the genetic thing. But if it is to hammer home the genetic thing, okay, why? And it's this constant talk of eugenics and genetics and family trees and all that stuff that makes me think that it's not just mushroom poisoning, that it is some sort of hybrid situation. Human spore hybrids. That's what I want out of this. Nothing less.
Yeah, Florence is keeping her sick. And is Florence Francis's mom?
No, I think she's a servant. I'm not sure about that, but
Are both Francis's parents?
no. You're right. She runs the household. I don't think she might be like Francis's aunt or something.
Yeah, who are Francis's parents?
The family tree gets a little funky. Probably because it's a reef. Anyway. Don't know.
Well, this is a fun one. I'm glad we split it up and didn't read it all at once because all the speculation is exciting. Florence left for a while.
Yeah.
Came back married and had Francis.
Then he fell into a ravine.
Right. Pushed into a ravine.
Maybe.
Is Florence actually related to Howard or?
Yeah, because. Yes. Somehow. Yeah,
Just treat on fork. Dad got killed because he
got too sick. Maybe. You know, if we're gonna buy into this idea that like if you buy into the fungus spore hybrid idea, and then if you take the variation of that where Howard is the only hybrid, maybe Francis's dad, Florence, had become infested and so like was knocked off in the same way that I'm suggesting that perhaps these Mexican workers had also gotten knocked off. So
okay, the crew's doing homework. Someone just sent me a family tree. Sue.
She did tell me she was making notes.
Wow.
This is nice.
Okay. Okay. Howard is Virgil's father. Francis is Virgil's
Cousin.
So
it makes Howard his uncle.
Right. Florence is Howard's niece, Francis's mother.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So Francis's mother. Nice.
I love that Kubla Khan made an appearance here. Just a list. Why did he come up?
Oh, I don't remember now.
Agnes.
Interesting. Shelby's asking, Virgil's married to Catalina. Yes, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Virgil is weird because like he seems to be totally cool with the fact that Catalina is not okay, and then he's like, yeah, she might be like mentally ill, but she's got tuberculosis, and nobody take her anyway. I'm like, all right, fair enough. But I also think the doctor is creepy. I also think that like creepy doctors doing weird culty things is like a kind of Lovecraft standard situation, and so, but like they're never helping, right? They are experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
But they did let Pablo, or whatever his name is, Julio. They did let Julio come up and like take a look at her, which is kind of wild.
And why was Julio just like?
Because he just got out of med school. Your boy don't know nothing.
Sweet baby. You could Google it, huh?
Not yet. The eugenics guy, that's Howard. Howard is into eugenics.
Howard, yeah.
So Gamio is the theorist that they keep quoting for like eugenics reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's the other thing, right? Like if you're just like casually interested in eugenics, like okay, right? 1950s Mexico, random white guy feeling like he's better than everybody else. All right, not here for it. All right. But, like, if I go into your study and you, like, actively have books open about this, you're doing science.
I think a study...
Something's going on.
I think one book about eugenics might be normal in any library. Like, personal library. Like, the fact that it happened.
Okay, sure.
You know?
If it's, like, a historical book, like,
yeah,
I guess.
That, like, it happened here, it happened there.
Yeah, sure. No, but he's, like, trying to do science. They're trying to create some sort of like super race, some mycelial super race. That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
I agree, Shelby. The men all feel exactly the same, with the exception of Francis, who is kind of unmemorable.
Poor little Francis.
Well, and
just
like,
pale and sickly.
you know what's sad is like he's the one that like so far has been helpful and like likable, and he's the one who's carrying around like the knock you out mushrooms. It's like, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, yeah. She mentioned that the ones he was plucking were the ones that make you feisty.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Peggy says they might be daddy cousin son. That is definitely possible. Definitely possible.
Yeah, how odd. Just a weird book.
Yep.
I like it though.
Yeah, so far it's fun. Do I think it's a horror? I do. The whole scene of like the golden woman showing up with no
Yes.
mouth and all that, like anybody with no mouth is scary. That's just all there is to
And
it.
then she had no mouth in the dream.
So here's the other thing, right? Whenever she is trying to speak, like it describes her making noise several times, or like what the voices in the walls sound like, and for whatever I can't remember now what they specifically said, but that again made me feel like
Open your eyes.
mushroom communication.
Open your eyes.
But like she made noises.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, in her dream she was hearing them tell her to open her eyes.
Right.
Yeah. So creepy.
Okay, so all right. Human consciousness is being transferred into mushrooms. That's what's going on here. And there is like evil mushroom consciousness, British colonizer consciousness, something like that, right? And they are trying to use this mushroom consciousness transfer situation to build a Superman. However, every once in a while, the local population up the mountain gets into the mushrooms or dies or something like that. So there are native Mexican dude consciousnesses up in this mycelial network, and that's what's
They're
trying
trying
to
to
save
help.
her. Yes, they're trying to help. That's what's going on.
They're
here.
trying to be the good voices.
I don't know that there's any symbolism for the mushrooms necessarily, but there's some interesting like theories about the relationship between mushrooms and like Catholic symbolism specifically.
Really?
Yeah, have you never looked into that? Yeah, there are a lot of thoughts about like how cardinals and the Pope dress and how it has to do with mushrooms, and mushrooms were used for like enlightenment rituals throughout like the ancient world, and so the idea that they might have spread into Catholicism is not insane. Anyway, I'm not sure I buy into it, but I mean, it mostly just sounds like dudes who like getting high, trying to like push it on everything. I'll be honest, that's what it usually sounds like, but that could be a play here, I guess.
So I was looking at the dream part again. One of the newer Star Trek series used the mycelial network.
It did.
To, yeah, to power the like warp drive essentially.
Yes, it did.
It was very interesting.
Yes.
After that dream with the golden flower lady, no mouth thing, Noemi woke up to go check and make sure that there wasn't something strange lurking behind the wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of the short story, The Yellow Wallpaper, where a woman was being gaslit, basically, into thinking she was crazy or whatever. And by the end of it, she thought that she was lurking behind, like, the bars of the yellow wallpaper in her own room. She was just trapped in that room. It was so creepy. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Weird.
It's a good short story.
Alright.
Fungus. Yeah, talking about this really makes me want to go, like, clean the shower.
We just did that.
I know, just clean zap any fungus that might be among us.
I think if that's the route this goes, and like y'all know me, I like to put off all my own fantasies on books, but I just think it would be such a refreshing take on sort of like the horror of the unknown, and that's like what Lovecraft is really about, right?
Right.
But and there's these like ancient cosmic horrors, but what if it is this sort of like ancient mushroom consciousness? Something like is it really that different? Is Cthulhu really that different from like a mushroom thinking? It is something totally alien to us and incomprehensible, and in theory large compared to what we are. So I think it'd be fun.
Well, you mentioning that there's like a link between mushrooms and Catholicism, they did mention that there's a very nice church and a very nice priest in the community.
Yeah, yeah, that guy was like sort of referenced, and we never hear from him
Yeah.
again. It'd be interesting to see if that goes anywhere.
I'm looking for the. So I think it was the dream where she was being assaulted that they were telling her to open her eyes.
Yes, yes. Now I will say this: I do think that we do have red herrings, and so like I'm not opposed to the concept of red herrings. For example, I think all the talk of silver. Obviously, they have a silver mine. I get it, but I think that's supposed to take us towards vampires.
And he smells foul.
Yeah, and it could still be vampires,
Yeah.
but they're going around in the daylight.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. You can make up whatever rules you want for vampires.
All right, apparently. Yeah, open your eyes was during that dream.
Yeah.
Her eyes were nailed shut. Her hands lay flat against the bed. Like she was paralyzed in her
Yes.
sleep.
Yes. It's not different. Not different at all. And so, yeah. And we already kind of have this association of mushrooms with consciousness because they are hallucinogen in a way that maybe we don't quite with communion, but the like is sort of relatable to weed or hot lodges or something like that. Like,
What's
But-
a hot lodge?
like so sweat lodge, right?
Oh, gotcha. Yes. Yeah, sleep paralysis is a thing. And what they described sounds like that's what she had in that moment.
Yeah. You know, I suppose it's always possible that like these thoughts of people like of the family messing with her are not real. I think they are. I have no evidence. For
I mean,
this.
it just literally might be really crazy dreams
Right.
from
Right.
this consciousness, collective consciousness that's.
If we
floating
buy
around
into
through
that
the
at all, she could
spores.
also just be super high and asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like during your dream state, you're not supposed to be able to move your body.
Correct.
And that's what keeps you from acting out your dreams.
Yeah.
And so everyone does have sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that moment when you wake up from your dreams, but your body hasn't fully woken up yet and you're still paralyzed.
I've had sleep paralysis one time and it was terrifying.
Ugh.
I remember where I was and I could see everybody because my eyes were like kind of open, but I couldn't move. It probably wasn't for very long. It felt like forever.
Right.
And then whenever I could move, all of my movements I had tried to do happened all at the same time, and so it's just like, and there were people in the room, and they were like, "What's going on?"
But that's like people thinking that they've been like possessed or attacked by
Correct.
demons, and
Yes.
and it's all from that moment because that's
Yes. Well, and whenever sleep paralysis happens, it's very common for people to report like seeing a shadow or something. Like you're not quite awake yet, and usually your eyes are like partially asleep, and so like it gets a little confusing. But
yeah. I mean, it's
They
super
used to-
terrifying when you experience
yeah,
it.
they used to call it like back in the Middle Ages. They would call it a demon sitting on your chest. That's what sleep paralysis was. Anyway, I'm all out of theories. Y'all get the idea. Mushroom consciousness. Give me more. I love it. I'm here for it.
Is Francis going to be a good guy or a bad guy?
He's gonna be a good guy.
Is Catalina going to get out of here or not?
Not.
Is Noemi going to get out of here or not?
Yeah. But she's gonna be put in the same asylum.
Oof. Is there anyone else in this house who you think will help Noemi and Catalina? They'll turn to, no, this is messed up and we need to get you out of here.
Maybe some of the servants. Like maybe the guy who cleans the mud off her shoes.
Yeah, I think you mentioned the Munchausen in Fable too.
Yeah, so like it could be.
They're making her sick. Or
Yeah,
by proxy.
yeah, so that
That's
would
what
be by
that is.
proxy, and it's not clear to me why they would do that.
Just for her money. Just keep her trailing along well enough to not die, so that Virgil has all her money.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that was Noemi's suspicion from the beginning.
Right.
Just keep her sick.
Yeah.
Spend all her money. But what are they spending all the money on? Because the house is in a shambles.
Yeah.
So where's all the money going?
Probably Dr. What's-His-Face so he can do mushroom experiments.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the other thing, right? Like, so he is the only other person that we have in the story that has a family. The doctor. I can't remember his name. Go back to the thing, if you don't mind. Dr. Arthur Cummins. Dr. Cummins. His father was the original doctor here, and now he has continued it. So again, we sort of have this cycle. We have this family sort of tie-in. We have connections. We have a network. It's also possible if we want to go with this, somehow we're doing things to like keep ourselves young, that maybe that Arthur Cummings is not Arthur, the original Cummins' son, that he is
the original Cummins.
Yep, as a younger person.
I
would not be shocked by that. I just don't think it's where we're going.
I wonder if he smells foul. Howard smells foul.
Maybe so.
Smells like decay.
And again, that brings us to mushrooms. I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh no, mute it.
I'm good.
I scared your sneeze away. Oh.
All good.
It was loud.
It was loud. Woo. Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say about this. I've given you all the wild theories I got. It's time for you to go read more, so we can appreciate how wrong I am. It's gonna be mushroom wine or vampires. Like, it's just gonna be that. And I'm gonna have to write this lady and be like, "Ma'am."
The scariest part is that there's just very, very bad people. People who choose to do bad things. That's the scariest part.
Right. Sure.
It's not just the mushrooms. It's a choice.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. All right. Well, happy reading, I guess.
Oh yeah. Very happy. We're gonna enjoy it.
Hope it doesn't get hurricane season-y.
What's our reading for next week?
Oh, you know.
It's gonna be 10 through something.
It is 10 through something. Let me see. We have it posted in the kickoff on Fable. 10 through 18.
All right. I'm going to go start reading. We'll announce our next book next week.
Oh. Do you know what you're picking?
No idea.
Do y'all have any ideas?
So let me put it this way. If it's not spores by the end of this reading, I'm picking a spore book.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, let's go.
All right. Bye.
Bye.